Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing the Jaclyn Hill Holiday Highlighter Collection. She came out with 3 different types of highlighters. I picked up one of each. I don't want to dip into the controversy too much, but I feel like I kind of want to address it just a little bit. So obviously Jaclyn Hill came out with her makeup brand a couple months ago, I'd say, and it turned out like to be a freaking disaster. So I think she took a little bit of time off, and it seems like she is redeeming herself with this collection. She seems super confident about it. Highlighter just makes sense. Jaclyn Hill and highlighter is like spaghetti and meatballs, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she just loves a beaming ass highlight, and that's what she's here to give. And she went all out. I mean, she could have put out like a regular pressed powder highlighter, but she did 3 different highlighters. So yeah, we're gonna go into it. We're gonna be testing all of these out. I'm gonna be giving you the prices, the packaging, and the swatches all up close. So let's just get right into it. First things first, we have the Luminous Powder. Okay, on the back of the packaging, it actually says, bring out that inner glow with this magically luminous powder. So this is specifically the Mood Light Luminous Powder. It doesn't say the Mood Light on the packaging. The actual packaging is really beautiful. It kind of just looks like a setting powder sort of compact, just based on the size. It is a little bit bigger. It has Jaclyn across the front. And you know what I just realized? I didn't see this earlier, but it looks like the Jaclyn part is like scraping off a little bit, which is a little annoying. So if you can see over here on the A, it's like scratched off a little bit. And honestly, I could probably scratch it off. That's a little bit annoying that it can like potentially come off or fade off. The case is frosted, so it looks really nice. And I picked up the shade Dew Me. Dew, spelled D-E-W. This is the lightest shade. Yeah, I think this is just supposed to be a very natural inner glow highlight. It's not gonna have too much pigment, and I could tell when I swatched it. I've seen some people use this to set their face. I personally am not gonna do that because I do have oily skin and just like larger pores, and this would not look good if I set this all over my face. So I'm really just gonna be using it as a highlighter. But if you have like more drier skin, if you just don't like super matte powders, you might like putting this all over your face, or maybe just to set like the under eyes, you know, give that little bit of a glow, maybe like your middle of your forehead. So there's the Luminous Powder. The Luminous Powder retails for $32. I will say the prices are a little bit high, but I mean, nothing crazy though. It's not like Pat McGrath, but they are a little bit more on the pricey side. I actually got a duo of the Mood Light powder and the brush. So she had these sets. You could buy the products separately, or you could do a bundle set where you can get the highlighter with the like complimentary brush. So she made 3 brushes that each go with each different type of highlighter. So I picked up the brush that goes with the Mood Light powder, and I tried to get another set, but we'll talk about that because I didn't end up getting it. So the set in total was $49 for the Luminous Powder and the brush, the $56 value. So you're saving $7. It's not like a huge deal, but I did want to try out at least one of the brushes in this video. So this is the J01 brush. This brush actually looks really nice. Feels super soft. And I know this is synthetic hair, it's not animal hair. You have Jaclyn on the brush, which is cute, and then the handle is like glittery, kind of fades out into clear. If I'm being nitpicky, I don't really like the clear handle. I don't know why. But nonetheless, it's still cute. And the brushes themselves I know are a little pricey, which is why I would recommend just getting them in a set. So the J01 is $24. The one that goes with the palette is $20, and the Beaming Light is $20. Again, $20 is a little expensive for one brush. I think she was really smart with doing the sets. It's just a good idea. All right, so next we have the highlighter palette. This is called the Accent Light Highlighter. So it comes in a really pretty little palette. So it has like a really nice white cover with the silver Jaclyn. I'm showing you in this video kind of how thick this palette is. I feel like a little complaint I've heard about this palette. Personally, I don't think it's a huge deal. I'm comparing it to the Jeffree Star Controversy palette. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little thick. And if you can tell, the like white part kind of comes up. It's like 3D. And then the silver part's thick as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. I don't think it's a big deal, but I feel like some people don't like that it's like thicker than, you know, a normal highlighter palette would be. Anyway, you open her up and this little thing came in it. It says, you're looking at an original. Our accent light highlighters are made using a proprietary filling process that creates unique, one-of-a-kind patterns in every pan. This is no ordinary highlighter palette. It's a work of art. Okay, so I will say the inside of this palette is very beautiful. Super glam and luxurious. I don't really see like patterns really that much, but they look cool. They're baked. They're like 3D. And then she has Jaclyn kind of on the inside. I feel like she could have made it a little bit smaller, you know, but nonetheless, it's a nice touch. The palette comes with a really, really nice mirror. Okay, one thing I wanted to compare it to was the OG Becca x Jaclyn Hill palette. I've also seen that some people are like, oh, it looks exactly like the Becca palette, da da da. So I wanted to compare them. So here you have the two palettes. Do they look similar? Yes. Do they look different? Yes. They're both a little more on the thick side though. Honestly, she might have taken inspiration from this palette. Is there anything wrong with that? I don't think so, but that's my personal opinion. So this is what the Jaclyn Hill and Becca palette looks like. And again, it has like a really big mirror. You know, maybe she wanted to go with the same style. And they also put a little logo here too. I didn't realize that. They're more different than they are similar. I have a little bit of a complaint. Okay, so the first time I went on the website, I kind of forgot it launched at 11. So I went on at like 11:45 and everything was sold out. On her second launch, I went on right at 11. I got everything in my cart. I got the set of this, and I wanted to get the set of this palette with the brush, and I think I went to go pick up one more product, put it in my cart, and check out, and the duo was sold out. So it was sold out in like a minute or 2 minutes. So I was a little like annoyed by that, just because I feel like as a consumer it gets really frustrating when there's brands that sell out of things really fast, but it could definitely be frustrating, especially if it's like in a minute. You're not giving anyone else a chance to get it, only the people that can be on at that certain time. Some people like are working, or they're in school, or they can't get to their phone right at 11. So I wasn't gonna buy the brush separately, so I just didn't get the brush for this palette. It's not a big deal to me personally because I already have like a bunch of different brushes I could use, but for someone who may have really wanted that brush, or really wanted that brush with the palette, and it sold out in like a minute, I'm sure they would have been like a little bit angry about it. So I just wanted to throw that out there, but I still got the palette, so I'm happy about that. So this palette retails for $49. Palette with the brush is $59. It's a $69 value, so you would be saving $10. And next we have the Beaming Loose Highlighter. It's a little bit smaller. Comparing it to this one, I think that's just because this is super, super pigmented. You're not gonna have to use like nearly as much. It has the same packaging as the Luminous powder. This is in the shade Extra. This is the lightest shade again, and I'll swatch it for you. It's beaming. I swatched it right next to the Accent Light highlighter palette just so you could see the difference. Yeah, there's a nice difference there. So the Beaming Loose highlighter retails for $24, and then you can get the set with a brush, which would be $39, and it's a $44 value. I didn't want to pick up the brush that came with this because it's like a fan brush. It's a really small fan brush, but honestly, I just don't really like fan brushes that much. So, okay, I'm done with talking now. Let's get into putting these highlighters on my face. I am excited. By the way, this is the mini controversy palette on my eyes. This was like the Shane Dawson and Jeffree collection. This palette, so pretty, so pretty. Let's go in with the Mood Light Luminous Powder. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in like just a little. Putting that on the J01 brush. I don't know how much of this to pick up. Okay, I might have picked up a little too much. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep this on one side of my face just so you can do the flash palette on the other side. But oh my god, this is so beautiful. And this brush is really nice. It feels really soft. This is the perfect brush for this because it's just dense enough, but it's also like big and fluffy enough. Okay, do you see this? Look at how like beautiful and natural that looks. I'm gonna be like, is that like a natural glow? You'd be like, yeah, it's like, that's just my natural skin. So I'm just keeping that on this side of the face. Now we're getting to the palette. I feel like I'm most excited about the palette. I wouldn't say I'm like a super intense highlight type of girl, which is why the palette is probably gonna be my jam. So obviously these have a more pinky tone. This is more yellow. This is kind of icy. So I'm gonna mix these two. We have Gleam and Sparks. And I'm just taking this Real Techniques brush. This is my usual highlighter brush. All right, here we go. Do you see that shit? I was not expecting that beam. I love it though. How it looks like this, I can't even freaking imagine what this is gonna look like. See my forehead? Ooh. Usually don't put highlighter on my forehead because I got a big forehead and that just like brings attention to it. But so I'm gonna go iced. Iced is this one, by the way. I'm just trying to use all of them, you know. So I'm gonna put a little bit of my Cupid's bow. And then I'm actually going to take Mesmerize, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that kind of on the brow bone. Maybe a little too deep, but I don't know. It's a little deep for the brow bone for me, but these 30 shades work for me really, really well. This is the Accent palette. Leaving like my inner corners, my nose like blank because I do want to use the beaming highlighter on that part. All right, so now we got the beaming highlight in the shade Extra. I wonder why I should name the shade Extra. Like I have no idea. I have a very bad feeling about it actually. I'm gonna take this teeny little brush. First it's gonna go on my nose. I got a little bit. Let's first do like the tip. So this is how it's gonna go, Jaclyn. Now I'm going to drag that up. Oh. I didn't grab that much either, okay? It does make my nose look skinny though. I'm going to try to blend this out. Note to self, use a lot less next time. It still looks good though. Like I'm not trying to say it looks bad. I think it looks freaking beautiful. It's just super intense. If you like super intense, this is gold for you. All right, now I'm gonna go in my inner corner. I love a bright inner corner. Oh, bitch. Do you see that? Beaming is like an understatement, honestly. I'm gonna add a teeny bit to my cheekbones. I feel like I just have to. I'm gonna go back in with this brush. So in Jaclyn's video, she did say that she uses on like the tippy tops of her cheekbones for good reason. You probably don't want to put this like all, I mean, I'm not going to judge you what you do. You know what I mean? If you want to put this all over your freaking face, please do it. If that's what makes you feel freaking beautiful, then do it. Because I am oily, so if I were to get really oily and I had this like beaming highlighter on, it just wouldn't look good. Like it wouldn't be a good combo. It's still beautiful nonetheless. Okay, I'm gonna put on my lips and then let's chit chat about all the products, how I feel about them, which ones would I recommend, and all that jazz. All right guys, so I got my lip on. I'm back to give my final thoughts of the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighters / highlighter collection. Let's start off with the Mood Light Luminous Powder and the brush. I really liked this. It's definitely more of like that everyday highlighter. It's more for the person that doesn't like a super intense glow. I obviously put the beaming on top of it, but it just looked really, really beautiful. Again, it's super pretty for bridal or just anyone who wants like a nice natural glow. I'd use it to set your face. Just be careful if you are oily. Other than that though, I loved this. Brush was super nice too. It went with the powder really well. Is it like absolutely necessary to buy? No, I'm sure you could find a brush similar to this one that's a little bit cheaper. I'd say it's a good idea to get it in a bundle. I feel like this is my favorite thing out of the whole collection. I kind of had a feeling it would be my favorite thing. And I wouldn't even necessarily say I'm like a highlighter palette person, but I feel like I can pretty much use all of these. This one is a little too deep for me, but maybe if I had a tan, I could probably use that one. But other than that, these are really beautiful. These are definitely a little bit more pigmented than I thought they would be. I probably could use a lighter hand though, you know, because I just didn't know how much product to pick up. The packaging's beautiful. More importantly, the highlighters are beautiful. That's the palette. And then we got the Baming Loose highlighter. This isn't particularly my cup of tea, just based on personal preference. I'm just being honest, especially having oily skin. I don't think this will look the best on me as far as like my cheek area, right? But this is gorgeous for inner corner, brow bone highlight, the Cupid's bow, even like on your body, you know? Like you can use these anywhere you want, you know? I feel like the collarbone would look so beautiful. If you're more on the drier side, this will definitely like stay on you all night and it'll look really great. So those are just my personal opinions based on like skin type. But the highlighter itself is obviously gorgeous. It's super intense. You don't need to use a lot. So this little thing is going to last you a long time. Those are all my thoughts on the products themselves. I do kind of wish that the items didn't sell out so quickly, just so more people could, you know, get a hold of them, especially for the holidays. But besides that, I think this collection is lovely. But anyway, final thoughts. I really liked everything. It feels super like glam and luxurious, and the products themselves performed really, really well. So I enjoyed this collection. But yeah, thanks for watching this review. There will definitely be more reviews to come. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.